Hi, this is John Patrick Hickey. I want to welcome you back to our talk about springtime, starting things afresh. And what I want to talk to you about, we've talked about goals, we've talked about setting a plan, and I've used garden analogies, and I'm going to continue to do that probably through this whole series just because it fits so well, especially with when you're planning things for spring. As I told you, I'm an avid gardener. I love to garden. And I've often found that gardening connects me to so many things in life. The examples are just endless on how you can connect the two. And one of the things when I'm starting out and I'm going to work in my garden, I'm going to get things ready. As I go into the garden itself, I always make sure that I have the right tools in order to do the job. Now, gardening tools are more than a rake or a shovel or uh, a trowel that you're going to dig things up with. It's there are certain tools that you have to have for certain areas in the garden. I explained that I have a raised bed garden. So all my gardening is done while I'm standing up. So all my beds are high. So I'm not going to use a garden rake. It's not going to fit. I'm not going to stand up there with this great big rake or a shovel. All my tools are going to be handheld, smaller tools, because those are the ones that are going to fit what it is I'm going to do. They're going to give me the ability to do the best job at what I want to do. And those tools help me in order to make the garden so it is going to produce the best fruit of what it is I'm planting. You don't just take seeds, throw it on top of the dirt, and wish for the best. You have to clean up the dirt. You have to be able to get the weeds out. You have to be able to turn that dirt over. You're adding things like compost and nutrients to the soil. You're digging it up. There's a time when I first go into my garden in the springtime that I do nothing but work the soil. I'm not planting anything. I'm just getting in there and working the soil and getting it ready to be planted. And by doing all of this, then you're able to produce the best product or the best crop that you could possibly get. Well, the same is true with working with your goals. The same is true with the tasks you have to do in life. That when you know what it is that you're going to do, you've planned this out, the next step is to have the right tools. What are the tools in order to plan out your goals? Well, they may be books. They may be videos. They may be blogs that you're going to read. There may be people that you're going to talk to. There may be classes that you're going to take. There's so many different things. These are the tools that help you to achieve the goals that you want to achieve and get the best results out of the things that you're doing. If you're going to go into let's say that one of your goals is to start to develop your own business. Let's say that business is you're going to open a bookstore, okay? And just giving you an example. And you've never done that before. So what are you going to do? It's not just a case of investing money in a building or developing a website and getting a bunch of books and hoping for the best. You have to understand, how does that store operate? What kind of a bookstore are you going to have? What is your clientele? Who is it you're going to try to appeal to? Where is the best location for this? How are you going to get the product to the customer? There are many, many different things you have to find out in order to make this thing work. So What are your tools that you're going to be able to do? Well, you're going to need to read. You're going to need to be able to understand how to operate a bookstore. And there are books that tell you how to do that. You're going to read. You're going to go and you're going to talk to people who actually do this type of work and get some understanding of what it means. What are the rules? What is it like on the ground when you're trying to operate a bookstore? One of the things that you find out in any entrepreneurial effort, and I was just talking to somebody a few days back who has his own business. He has been working for himself now for over 40 years. And one of the things that he mentioned was the fact that when he got into business for himself, he had this great idea that, working for himself, he'd be able to work when he wanted to work, not work when he didn't want to work, and he could take days off, he could have vacations, he could do all the things that he wanted to do without some boss being over him, telling him what he could and couldn't do. And he quickly found out that that was not reality. Reality is, as an entrepreneur, you don't get vacations, you don't get days off, you don't get that freedom that you think that you're going to have. He's been working for himself for over 40 years, and the one thing he learned is you don't work, you don't get paid. It's just the way that it works. And the same is true with any line of business. I've often heard people say that they want to own their own business for some sense of freedom. And there is a great freedom that comes with owning your own business if you're willing to pay the price. But the fact is that working for yourself means that you don't get days off, you don't get sick days, you don't get holidays, you don't get vacations. When you don't work, you do not get paid. That you have to bring in the money. And even if you have employees, that you have to pay them for doing things. That when you used to work for someone and when you got a vacation, they paid you for that vacation. When you took a day off and you got paid days off, they paid you for those days off. When you're the boss, you have to be the one that pays those employees to do that. You don't always get those luxuries for yourself. So you have to understand how business works, how all of this fits together. You might need to take a class somewhere along the line. The thing is that these are all tools that you need to get that understanding, to figure out how it all fits together. Get your tools together. When you do that, then you'll be able to produce the type of product that you want in your life in achieving those goals to move you forward. So get your tools in order. Know what tools you need. Make sure they're the right tools, they're practical tools. Get them in order, and you will benefit from everything that you do. For the Growth Center, this is John Patrick Hickey, and I do want to encourage you to pursue your purpose and change your world. Hi, John Patrick Hickey again. And I want to thank you for joining me for this video, and I hope that you've enjoyed it. I do want to suggest that you hit the subscribe button, which is at the bottom of your screen, and that way you won't miss a single episode of any of the videos that are posted. If you'd like more information about my books or any of the blogs or videos that are available to you, then just go to our website, which is www.growthcenter.net. Or if you'd like to reach me by email, you can also do that by going to leadership@growthcenter.net. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you again for joining me, and I hope to see you again soon.